Today is a mellow day because I don't particularly have guests, but I'm going to chat. And anyone who wants to join can, problemo. I'm going to leave the link out there, and anyone who wants to join can join. So here is the link at the bottom. Now, one thing I never say to people is click on and share and do all those things. Yes, you are at liberty to share with your friends, let them know that there is a chat on. That's the only way that my show will spread out. It's a two-way thing. I do the show, you come on, we chat, that sort of thing. Anyway, my people, today, December the 15th, Wednesday, December the 15th, and I'm welcoming you all to my show. Today is a kind of like a reflections on the life of 2021 because we are nearing the end of 2021. And so we're going to kind of take stock on what we have experienced during the year. And this has not been an easy year for any of us. It has been a year. So we have to keep reflecting. We need to keep thinking about it. And this is global. What has happened now is global. Everyone has been touched by somebody they know. Maybe there's somebody they work with who's had the virus, who's died, or who's been in hospital, who's had long COVID, who's had all sorts of things. Now, all through that time, life was going on, even though we've had lockdowns and whatever, life was going on. And some people were working from home, some people were frontline, they had to go to work, some doctors, nurses, carers, etc. So it wasn't as if life stopped, it just became different. And it became uncertain. And it became worrisome in a strange sort of way. So anyway, people, those are the things we're going to talk about. If anyone has something to say, we will talk about it today. We will see where we go with it. Yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Now, I have all sorts of ideas. Oh, I have a guest already. Yeah. Whoa. I got someone here. Hello.
Hey, sorry for the hat and glasses. I ran upstairs, took off my fall coat, and joined you.
Oh, no, there's no problem. You can come as you like. Today
Okay.
is an open mic. The fact that you're in my cell, you're alive, I'm alive, we chat, we're there, it's a good thing. So,
Awesome.
I'm just so happy to see you. Yay. Now, you
Awesome.
please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brenya Chumisi, and I'm amongst the biggest fans, but I always say I'm the biggest fan of our Candy Casse, Kiki. We went to school together, and so we've known each other since we were 12 years old.
11. Yeah, 12. 12.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Kiki, for giving us an open mic.
Yeah, today's open mic. And
Yeah.
because it's open mic, I have little topics here and there, but I'm quite ready to discuss anything that anyone wants to discuss. I've put the link below. So anyone who's watching now, if you see the link, you want to click on it, you want to join us, that's all good. Now, what is it that you want to talk about for the year 2021?
Okay, well, how about this working backward currents? I just saw this afternoon, about an hour ago, that because I'm in academics, I saw that Columbia University has closed emergency because of the Omicron virus, which is confusing. So the provost said that the school university's closed emergency because 900 students tested with the symptoms positive for Omicron. And that's why it's confusing, because
What
what is
did you say
this?
900?
900 in a week. It spread so fast. They had to close today emergency. So being at the university, since it's a smorgasbord of people, we can, and they're close. They walk together, drink coffee together, play together. It's a petri dish for a laboratory. And so they closed. Yeah, they closed today.
That's shocking. I haven't even heard it. I
Yeah,
did
it's that
hear.
fresh off the press. And they, when asked if they would reopen in the spring, because the universities now are going finishing finals, and they're going to be closed for the holidays, and they're going to, that response was, well, we're going to follow the science. Don't we know that response from the whole of the year and a half? We're going to follow the science. So that's confusing, because it says the things we're seeing as Africans going viral on our WhatsApp. We all get the same information, the same updates, about 10 a day, every day. Doesn't match that
900 in one
in
university,
1 week.
in 1 week as well. I'm
Students.
shocked. What I
Yeah.
heard in America was
Mhm.
that yesterday was that Sacramento had a blackout and there was no
Oh,
light
I didn't
in
hear that.
homes. Did you know this?
No, we learn by word of mouth nowadays, because we're overloaded with so much to do with work, career, family, and with the news. So thank you for sharing that with us, Kiki.
I just saw it. Somebody said it on one of the social media sites.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how. And so he was teaching people how to light, how to get some power
Candles.
in their homes, and how to make fire to put their food on
Good.
some. But I didn't watch it all because I was in a hurry to do something else. So I
Okay.
saw that and I thought, oh, what's happening in America again? You know.
And do you know something?
Yeah.
We talk a lot about America because, it seems to be dominant and prominent. However, oh my
Mhm.
goodness, Kiki, 2021, what's happened in other countries? It's worse. Terrible. Not
What's
about the
happening?
virus, but what you're talking about, the flooding, the icebergs melting, the ocean going high. South Sudan, they say the villages that have been submerged with water, that the water is not going to recede. This is how it's going to be.
The
Because
water
we're
not
hoping the water will recede, but the water has nowhere to go because the water levels are
So you mean
high.
the water that's come from the sea has entered into
The
people's
villages,
homes and all the
many
villages
of the
and it's
villages, yeah.
stuck?
And
So
so the huts, they showed us, the huts and the homes are half about 6 feet, 8 feet, 9 feet tall, submerged, and the people walking in the water trying to find a strip of barren, dry land. They're walking with boats, rafts, self-made rafts. But I'm just giving an example because also Madagascar is going through a lot. And what's different in our history? Oh, we should talk about the tornadoes. That'd be good. What's
yeah,
going
and
on in our history is,
volcanoes. There's so many things happening. The
yeah, at
volcanoes,
the same time.
the tornado, the volcano though. Today
Yeah.
I heard in the news
Okay.
that the
Okay.
volcano in Las Palmas had gone down. It had kind of plateaued, kind of. It's
Okay. But
still,
nobody's living there anymore. It's
yeah.
kind of late.
So, and people are concerned that the way that it's going, if it goes deeper into the sea, it could cause a tsunami somewhere else. But
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and you see, but even though all of that is being talked about,
Mhm.
people are just living normal life. So that's the thing is, I don't know whether they are aware of this or they're just living day to day, and if no tragedy has occurred, then that's fine. But this volcano is supposed to create a tsunami on the some of the coastal areas in another country.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, that makes sense from what we're learning, right? From what, again, this information goes viral to us Africans on WhatsApp. So we learn that way nowadays, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
learn
yeah,
quickly. Yeah.
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 So then you wonder what's going on, and then of course you're talking about the tornadoes as
Hmm.
well,
Yeah.
and so basically it is quite scary in
Yeah.
the world that we're in, where once in a while something bad happens somewhere and everybody talks about it in the news.
Hmm.
Now things are happening that we don't really know about, because
Correct.
it
Yeah.
seems like it's happening everywhere, so everyone's dealing with their own issues.
Correct. I think I shared with you, I'm going to put on full blast. I shared with you the two men who used to be
Yeah.
corporate leaders. Okay, so I'm going to put on full blast. I have followed them, subscribed to them on YouTube. It's called the Two Preachers. Now that throws people off because we're not all from the same faith, right? And
Yeah.
what's this? Two preachers again, and we're from Ghana. Preachers again. So it throws people off. But I want to say this: don't be thrown off because they used to work in a corporate world or leaders and realize that we humans around the globe didn't realize what was going on. They left their money, they left their jobs.
Mhm.
They had a lot of money, said they're well to do. And they started, I'm thinking, Kiki, help me out. 5 years ago is when I subscribed to them, probably.
Yeah,
They
it must be 5 years ago
Okay,
because.
so what I want to say about them is
Mhm.
by word of mouth, like Kiki's saying, by word of mouth, all of us around the globe are learning things. People in the villages have smartphones all around the world as
Mhm.
they hadn't before. They share them, they listen to news. So if you subscribe to the two preachers, don't be thrown off. It's not about religion, but what it does is it receives from every nation in the world today the video capture of what's going on in that city, that village, that country every day. They post it fresh, current, fresh, every week of every year, and then twice a week. So the first day that they posted, say it's a Monday, give or take. By Wednesday, they realized they got a few more things about that particular city, so they add it, and their expertise is bar none. It's like Kiki's. It's fantastic. Their expertise is fantastic, like our sister Kiki's. So please, guys, put that on your phone because it'll tell you, like Kiki's saying, we miss a lot. It will tell you what's going on in every single nation. Our nation of Ghana has been on it a number of times. We have seen the floods in places around Ghana from them. We have
Yeah.
seen, they tell us that Ghana is just at sea level. They tell us that.
Yes, and
It's true. Please
as
put
you
on
were
your phone.
talking about the floods, I was thinking about the floods in Qatar. You know that coastal
Yes.
area
I
called
went to school near
Qatar.
Kita.
Really
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes.
People go, there's nice hotels and everything. Now the water, the sea water, has entered into the Qatar town, and it's in people in the villages. It's in people's houses.
Wow. Kiki, when did that happen?
It's
And
on the Two Preachers.
oh, okay. They showed us. Yeah. So again, what we're saying is that these two men, they don't do the work. We do. Everybody in each continent, each country sends them quickly what's going on right there around them. And the two preachers are just absolutely out of this world, fantastic at clipping it together and making a video stream of what is it, about 25 minutes to 30 minutes every day, changing up twice a week, every week. They've never missed. I'm the witness. About approximately 5 years I've watched it. They never miss. Please put on your
See,
phone to help you.
you introduced me to them. I didn't know about them, and then I watch it.
And you were
I am
skeptical.
intermittent. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and you were
intermittent.
Yeah. Most people are skeptical because of the name. So you have to explain it. They think, oh, this is another, preacher type people, but that's not what it is.
No, they just talk about disasters in places and what's going on, and if people can help, etc. That's what I saw. That's what
Yeah.
I.
And they really don't even talk about it. They just clip people, us human beings, things together. And then the last 10 minutes on one of them per week, they talk about a ministry in Pakistan. That's it. But you can ignore that part if you're not interested.
Okay,
So
so the
it'll keep
question.
you safe.
Okay, so my question to you is, I mean, you don't have to know it, so, but it's a question anyway that's playing around in my mind. Why are we having
Okay.
all the disasters all at once? What does that mean?
Okay. So I follow the experts. Kiki, you know me. I'm lazy at that. If there's an expert, I'm the one since we were little, right? Since we were children, who goes to expert, trust them because they love talking about their expertise. So I follow the experts on that, and it's real.
Mm.
Even if we believe, like I sometimes do in conspiracy theory, because I'm in law. Kiki knows that I'm a lawyer. So in conspiracy theory, there's actually a thing in law called conspiracy theory, and we believe it. It's legal. So I believe in them here and there, but I go to the expert, and the experts dig under every rock and stone to find out the truth of the facts. It's the melting of the icebergs. Guys, have you gone there? Have you put it on your phone? Have you subscribed and see what's going on a daily basis? They have to watch it. The experts have to watch it on daily. It is crazy. And I started watching it, Kiki. Again, because of COVID, I mix up the dates. I would say 5 years ago again, because COVID minus a year and a half. That's what I'm thinking. Um, the, the water level has changed. There's nowhere for the water to go. And then, but I don't want to get into the other side of things. I was going to say, but I won't do that. It's the earth is groaning, nature's groaning. How about saying it that way?
Okay, so the answer really is you feel that the earth is groaning, the
Yeah,
earth is tired, we have maltreated the earth, basically.
yeah, and not feel. It's based on science. So it's an educated opinion. It's not a feeling. We use feel a lot. I know that colloquially, but in this case, no. I don't go with feel when it comes to supporting and warning our circle. And Kiki, you know that. I've
So,
never gone with feel.
and how are we at a point where we can repair it, or this is the end? Where
Um,
are we with this?
okay, the scientists all across the globe have said that they had thought, this is current news. I never, Kiki knows I never give old news. They have said currently that they thought they had more time. They're looking at 2035, 2040, and they said they were wrong. If we have time to correct it, we only have 5 years because it's here already.
What,
If if they have
what
time
are you
to
talking
correct.
about, the greenhouse effect and all of
I
that?
yeah,
Or
I'm careful not to mention those labels because that's where people then will start googling, getting
different
conflicted with this
information? Yeah.
information overload. So I'm
Yeah.
making it broad because it includes all of that, but I don't want to give information overload to our people, our circle.
But I thought that Mother Earth, and this is me, layperson, I know nothing about science. I thought that Earth repaired itself. Earth had the way of, it's like human beings. Some human beings, if you're
Mhm.
healthy and you're strong enough, things happen to you, but you repair certain things, or somebody repairs you, kind of thing. So
Right.
with Earth itself, Earth is so powerful that everything that we do, however much we maltreat it, it can repair itself.
Yeah. So if you can forgive me, I'll use something that's dear to my heart and yours as well, the cocoa tree
Okay.
as an example for what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know about the cocoa tree. We studied it a lot throughout West Africa. We know that it takes 3 years for it to come to maturity. So the farmers who are in our families, in my family, the commercial farmers, they know that they have to grow, as we know, the vegetables and plants underneath the cocoa tree to sustain their families.
You have to
And then they
plant.
have to recycle, and then it has to go fallow. So there are
Yeah.
different scaffoldings, different layers. And then as well, like in sixth form, you may have done it as well, Kiki. I wrote a paper on how we can fertilize the soil, because that has to happen as well. All of those layers, the process,
Mhm.
simplistic, but a lot of layers. So let's take the fertilization. um, at the time, that was at Rollins's first time. So we're aging ourselves, but that's cool. So that was around 1979, 1980. we had dire pests killing our cocoa trees,
Mhm.
and it was huge. And it was correlated, not totally related, to the fertilizers. So we were trying to get natural ones, compost, and so on. So that messed up everything for years. So that's a
Mhm.
good example. So that's nature. So
Mhm.
nature has different scaffolding, and things are going on at the same time. That's why I want you to, or the audience to go to the other side of it, which I said I won't go there, the
Mhm.
faith side, faith. So just sticking with that, using the cocoa plant as an example, when the scientists tell us that no, the earth is growing and we're not catching up, think about the one tree. It can't catch up. If there's a pest, if there's no fertilization, if the pesticide's not there, if we didn't lay the land fallow, all these things, just for the one cocoa tree, takes
So
years.
basically, the way that you said it, even the cocoa tree is going to become extinct because it's not getting the right nutrients. Everything around it is also not growing as it should. And
And we're
so,
not paying the farmers enough. We're not respecting them enough. They do the whole process of sending the cocoa abroad for. I say chocolate is not a luxury. I say it's a necessity because I've always said, and I teach my students this, that if you woke up in the morning collaboratively, if you woke up in the morning, and you found out there was no chocolate in the world, what would happen? They themselves collaboratively get to the point of people will have to go through withdrawal, addiction withdrawal.
yeah,
Milo has chocolate. Cereal has chocolate.
yeah.
Chocolate is in so many things.
The
Chocolate
milk,
breads,
even there's chocolate
milk,
milk.
chocolate
Children
milk.
like I depend on chocolate. If
Yeah,
I'm sad, it's instinctive that I must eat chocolate.
yeah. So if
Sometimes
there's no chocolate overnight anywhere, the people will be going. They'll be stunned. They'll go into drug withdrawal, literally. So it's more than a luxury. It's become a necessity throughout. Even the porridge has chocolate.
even porridge. You mean in America, your porridge has chocolate.
Not just the U.S. Because of how wealthy, I don't know if I can say this here, but let's say because of how wealthy the chocolate industry is, and one starts with letter N, the other with the letter C, and so on and so forth, wealthy beyond comparison. The ads, the marketing, everything that goes along with it goes to every country and every village, and that has an effect on our psychology, right? Our programming. But I brought that up because I don't know. It let's talk about something positive like love,
Yeah, I mean,
like romance.
in 2021,
Yeah.
even though there was chaos around and that things were happening outside people's homes, there were
Mhm.
people who were on um they were on dating sites, and people got relationships. People who hadn't thought about it because they were busy and they were here, there, everywhere. They started chatting attentively to people that they didn't even think they would be in a relationship with. So there was a bit of love. There was self love as well, because suddenly people started paying attention to a lot of things on social media. So there was TikTok, there was Instagram, there was this, that, and the other. People were giving little snippets of advice here and there. People were into self love. People were into self worth. People were into safety. You know, notwithstanding the fact that with the lockdown as well, there was domestic violence. There were all sorts of things happening to children. Children were being beaten up by their parents. Some of them, whose parents were frustrated, and then
Yeah.
they take it out from the children. So there was so much going on. So, in fact, you can talk about anything, pick any of these topics,
Correct.
talk about love, talking about building yourself,
Correct.
all the
Now,
things that has
now,
gone
now,
on.
right now, Kiki Dedo Mate Kojo left a note,
Yeah.
and because she's one of our sisters, I wanted to acknowledge that. Now, she mentioned that what we know coming from Ghana, that Kita has had that problem for a long time. So when I lived nearby Kita in 1979, close to
You,
1980, yes, I went. Yeah, I went to Kita, and I was led around and told about the
Sea defense.
erosion. And I was shown myself, I'm a witness to it myself. And that's, again, I repeat, 1979, that a lot of the graves had gone into the ocean, Atlantic Ocean. That's one example. Another example is we use different brooms there. They look more like rakes, which I love. I purchased one a few years ago because I love that rather than the other ones we use, say, for example, in Kumasi or Accra, because of all these issues of the sand coming on in the houses. So what I heard too was because the Netherlands, this is 1979 to show that we've known this, the Netherlands is the one nation on earth that is the best in expertise of reclaiming land, because the word Netherlands actually means underwater.
Oh,
That's
nether,
Yeah, and
under.
the one reason why clogs come from that is because of the water clogs, because the mud that gets on the farmers' shoes that they have to scrape off, and the
Okay.
leather would get moldy and so on. So, okay. So the point is that the Netherlands was asked to help Keta, and they did, to reclaim land. And that, my friends, was 1979. So we from Ghana, Kiki, Dedo, and others, we women, we have a lot of um, expertise in these different areas that we don't get to talk about because
No,
we are African women. Sorry to say it. We
no,
don't. So
no.
Kiki is wonderful because she brings us on to talk about our expertise. Because so Dedo Mati Kojo is right, and she has a great expertise in many areas. So do I. So does Kiki. So Kiki, thank you for helping us women on your show. Show that we don't give opinion. We never do.
No,
There's
it's
so much
not
more
opinion.
to
Yeah,
share.
there's more to that. It's people have studied, people have it's their work, people
Yeah.
have serious expertise. One of the things that as you were speaking was I am from one of my ancestral homes is a place called Ada in Ghana,
Mhm.
Adafo, and so we are also quite coastal. We are by the sea, and our sea defense is eroding in such a terrible way that part of where my beloved my old grandfather is buried, half of the cemetery is in the sea. Now, the other thing is some of the huge buildings that my grandfather built and all of that, half of them are in the sea. In the sea.
Mhm.
So
Correct.
I
Yeah.
know about sea defenses, but what I'm saying is it's getting worse. It's coming even
Yes, that's what we're saying.
closer. And
Yes.
there is the story, and this is it's not even a fable, but there's a story in the Netherlands where a little boy he saved his country, Netherlands,
Mhm.
by going and sticking his finger. He stood between the sea and
The
the
dike. Put his finger in the hole of the dike. It's a
yeah,
fable. It's a
it's a
fable.
fable, yeah. But
100%. Yeah.
it's something which, when I read it, this is years ago. I was a child when I read it, but it stayed with me because I wondered how, this vast expanse, how would we save our areas along the coast of Ghana?
Okay.
How would
So
we save?
yeah. So on that point, there's another example that we can stretch out to other examples. On that point, we go like you and I do to the experts, right? And the Netherlands happens to be the expert bar none on this. So
Mhm,
they have been, they have houseboats
mhm,
always, forever. They have every day they have to pump water away. The concrete that they create is a different type of concrete that will be more sustainable. They have built houses, and this is all, everybody can Google this on YouTube. This is all on YouTube. So they build houses that float on water in a certain way.
mhm.
See what happened in Vienna, Italy, just before COVID-19. The houses were destroyed, historical houses, because they didn't have the expertise of the Netherlands. They did well with keeping the water at bay, but they didn't have the expertise of them. So, folks, we've got to be humble even in love and romance. We've got to be humble in every category to go to the experts amongst us and lift them up. And Kiki does that so well, and lift them up and push them forward in support to to talk. But Kiki, in my faith, it says that's not going to happen. We're just going to learn through people like you, circle by circle. The globe will not lift us Black women up. We Black women won't lift each other up that way. It's just circle by circle, like your circle is your audience and us. And then hopefully enough will hear within circles,
We will hear
including
with,
about love and romance.
yeah. It's amazing. It's a bit. I don't know. I don't want to put on a terrible word, but it is disconcerting because whilst all the horrors are going on in different countries, we also have us. And there's another thing. I don't know what you think about it, but right now,
Can Dedo jump in? Is anybody else there?
no, there's no one
Okay,
else. There's
you'll
just you.
continue then.
And
Okay.
there's Shirley there. But Shirley, do you want to join us? You
Yeah,
know, so
please,
you do.
Shirley.
Just click on the link I've left and you can join in. But coming back to the issue, there is something that's concerning me. You know how when you get to Ghana airport, Ghana at Christmas is a huge playground. Everyone wants goes to Ghana at not everyone, but a lot of people, including foreigners, people from the diaspora, Ghanaians themselves, big parties, weddings, the lot. Now, if you're going to go to Ghana, you have to have two jabs. Now, if you haven't had a jab at all, if you're supposed to have two jabs before you enter Ghana, are they giving you the two jabs at the airport? Or I don't know, how are they doing it? And
Um,
why is it so draconian? Why? Because you can do your lateral flow test. There are all sorts of tests you can do to prove that you haven't got the virus. So why do you have to? And it's something that's worrying me.
yeah, so again, as we know, that's gone viral on all our African forums, the different protocols and policies in comparison. So those of us here, your audience are all the same as you and I. We're all professionals, right? And so all of us here who are listening know that they're trying to standardize the protocols that do work with whichever tests, whichever antibody tests, and they've found that some are more corrupted than others for different reasons, diverse reasons. So that's what's going on. They're trying to make sense of it. And that they, I don't like using the word they, but that they is defined as certain people in power who care and also they are working with the scientists. So that they are the scientists and certain people in power who care. They remember the thing that went viral last week with us, the one about the man who wrote down his every step of going through the process of getting to the airport, getting through security, getting on the airplane and getting to the next country. He said it cost him an extra, was it 2,500 USD? Is my memory right? An
Yeah,
extra.
is this a man who was put in a hotel and made inconvenient and blah blah blah? Is
And
that
so
the
he
one?
told us that the shot at the airport was like 500 USD, the jab. We say shot, you say jab. The jab, correct? Something like that. So all
Well,
that added, the hotel, he said, was not the expense. It was the jabs, the tests, because some people's tests didn't match protocol, and protocols done by the scientists. All that's going on.
our airport.
At our airport, we didn't we get. I think Dedo would know. Dedo Matikojo, maybe Shirley. We got that also. It went viral yesterday, isn't it? From the government as
From
to
the
if you
government, we got the one where if you get to the airport, you're going to be jabbed. You're going
yes,
to have
and
your
it's at
jab.
the cost, and
And
it's not free. It's not
yeah,
free.
I didn't know about the cost, but I knew also that the airline will be charged if you
Three
know you
thousand, 3,500 USD. Yeah,
yeah.
the airline, but the cost at our airport is not the same as what he paid. The 500. It was something else, so they didn't mention it at all. But what was mentioned was the airplane, and that was another that was hadn't anything to do with Ghana. That had to do with international.
Okay. So does that then are people still you see, this is what baffles me about human beings. So are they still going to go? And are they, and when they do get if they don't go, how then people plan, we're going to get visitors, hotels, restaurants. They're looking forward to people coming, weddings. People have booked for maybe 200 people here. There, so all of these things with this sudden, unprepared kind of announcement, does it not affect businesses, and does it not affect families who were
Yeah, it
expecting
does.
their
Yeah.
children, their parents, whatever, whatever? Does it
Health,
not
healthcare,
healthcare? Does it not affect?
romance, odor.
You see somebody who hasn't seen their beloved for maybe 2 years
A year,
because
two
of,
years. Yeah.
yeah, almost 2 years
Mhm.
because of coronavirus, and then they're looking forward to going. And then, if people are going to be paying all of this money, do they really have it
No,
to
they
go
don't.
and do this? I
They
mean,
don't.
are we not biting our nose to spite our face with this kind of
So I can
announcement?
so I can help with that because that's part of my expertise, how much money's in the bank. So we'll use the US as an example. And the US today, I checked today, is still the most financially secure, despite everything, nation, and it's still the most dominant in terms of money. And the Federal Reserve came on today, and Federal Reserve said that they're going to be making changes they're going to announce, which is quite scary. Okay, so I'm going to use the US for those reasons. That's my legal disclaimer.
Hmm.
So in the US, what we found out with research over many, many decades is that the median, so mathematically, the average of the median person or family in the US has 2,000 USD saved in their savings account. So that's where the terminology comes from, living month to month. And what the terminology month to month means is that if one loses their job or is ill and can't go to work, it doesn't get paid. Most people don't get paid if they are unhealthy. People don't realize that. And we're talking US, how more everywhere else. So if they don't get paid, they may miss their mortgage, they may miss their rent. But when you add up the bills, the payments, the bills, is more than 2,000 USD because for food, for family of four, is approximately now 600 USD a month. Family of four. So when you calculate that, that's the reason why people become homeless within a month. And we who do this work, we include the blind spots. Trust me, because the whole team included blind spots for decades. So blind spots are divorce, separation, breaking up and being kicked to the curb by a lover. Blind spots are all those things. And so back to your question, Kiki, because I've proven that we have 2,000 USD average median in
In
our
the
savings. When that's gone,
hmm.
big trouble. You're faced with the bank saying, where's the payment? The landlord saying, where's the payment? You don't eat because you know about eating as well around the world and the US. Children get hungry when school is out. So back to this. How can you charge up? I'm going to be bold here. Your
Yeah,
credit
fine, please.
cards. Be bold? Okay.
Yeah.
Because again, this is my area. Um, how can you charge up your credit cards and say you can afford to fly to Accra, Istanbul, Amsterdam, Australia? How can you do that? Well, the answer we know as well, because we checked that out for decades. The credit cards are over the roof, and people, they capitalize, so people can't pay them off. And people don't want to talk about this. Kiki, you and I are talking about this because it's 2021. These are the things we know 100%. We're not guessing. We don't do opinion here. Is going on in people's homes. The luxury cars, most of them are
A high
lease,
purchase. Yeah.
on
High
lease.
purchase. Yeah.
Most of them on lease, and they trade them off, and they have to pay per month. It's usually like 300 USD per month on an average, not luxury car, an average car, because the car dealerships want their money and they have to pay their mortgage. Things are really bad, but we're still depressing our audience about 2021. What are the positive things?
Well, I mean, they're not. The problem though is the minute it looks like things are getting better or there is light under the tunnel, there's a new shocker. So it's difficult to not depress our audience. We are in depressing times.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean,
Can I throw something out to make it more sweet? So I was talking to a student 2 days ago,
mhm.
and the student was saying, yes, I have a new boyfriend. And it's so lovely. And I said, does he treat you well? Because if he doesn't, I'll do X, Y, and Z. And the student said, oh, he's so lovely. He's so loving. He takes such good care of me. It's so romantic. I love him. And I said to her, oh, I'm so glad to hear that, because how old are you? 22. Because you need the faith and the hope of love and romance. She said, yes, we know that. We've been talking about that. I don't say generation anymore, because I'm a firm believer in the work I do that we're all from the same generation. We're all supposed to be on earth at the same time, helping each other, scaffolding. So I don't use that terminology of generations. So,
Okay.
so I said, in this time, the generation on earth, we need that. We need the love and awe and romance and kissy kissy and kumbaya. So those who are like that, we need you. We need you to speak up, but don't shut up the people who have the facts on science and what's going on, but infuse like an injection, inoculation, the love and romance, love and romance. We need that. Those men out there who are fabulous husbands and fabulous daddies, we need you to step up and talk about it. The world needs that. We need your voice. We need to hear that infused within it all, so we don't get so bogged down in what is true and what is negative. We need the love and romance. That's why you hear me keep on saying love and romance, love and romance.
There's love and romance, but even the ones in love and romance, they are also in,
Have to pay bills.
yeah, they have to pay bills. The other thing, as you were speaking, I was thinking, you see, in America, I know for a fact that a lot of people in America, they save their money and their holidays so that they can go to, so they do it in 5-year bursts. They don't go to Ghana often like we do in London, in the UK. They don't, in
It's much
Europe.
more expensive. Do you know how much it costs to go from the US to Accra?
No, tell
Okay,
me.
so the average is 2000 USD for round trip, the average, which
Okay.
means that you can find nowadays, no, nowadays the average is 2500 um, round trip. And did you know that when you go through Heathrow, you have a $500 tax tariff? Yeah,
No.
that's part of it, yeah. So people, my relatives and loved ones, my closest loved ones and relatives are in Accra and London. So people in London, they just like you, Kiki, they don't know. We don't tell them. And our culture doesn't talk like this. But you and I, we do to inform people. There's a $500 tax tariff that's added to everybody's ticket. So
You,
if a ticket costs 2000, which is the norm low now, it's because it would be 1,500, and a 500 is a Heathrow tax. Does that help you all? That's a lot of
well,
money. If you're taking your family with you, so
oh,
you
then it means you're taking, so 2,500 for one person
yeah,
times family of four is
yeah,
times four.
yeah.
A lot
And
of money.
yeah, and don't discount what I told you about the average savings and accounts and me talking about the credit card and saying they don't tell you. It's charged on credit cards. They come back and the interest is compounded, and they have to pay that credit card that they charge 8,000 USD on. They have to pay that back like in 3 years based on
But
income and so on. Mhm.
but you see, what I thought was in America, you guys had more um disposable income because
No,
a lot,
no.
really.
Yeah, no. It's and you can look all of this up. This is again what we have to teach in the courses that I teach, and this is well known amongst us professionals who have to teach the public this.
Mhm.
No, it's a certain percentage that does have it, and we all know the athletes, the pro athletes, the ones that are still able to work. I have to give that disclaimer. The actors who still have to work, um, the elite actors. The others are worse off than I'm saying they don't have to. The other actors don't have 2000 USD in their account. So we have
Wow.
to begin to be humble and realize what I said earlier, Kiki. Please, please, at times like this, go to the experts and ask them, because we have the information. Um, Now we love colloquialism, we love opinions, we love just chatting and chilling, and we don't say anything and we close our mouth because we're too known if we say anything. But at a time like this, go to the experts. I'm lazy. I go to the experts.
You
They love
know
to talk
what?
about their expertise.
But while you talk about experts, let me give you an example. There is something going around that in in Africa, West Africa, along the whole coast of, West Africa, a lot of people believe that the British are very stingy and that the Americans are more, they have more disposable income when they come on holiday. They build these big houses and they're doing, are you saying it's all credit card?
A lot of it's on credit and loans. A lot of it.
Wow.
And so every month, part of the bill that X or Y would have is the bank bill, right? But what I am saying, what we found out with research is the average American and has 2,000 USD in their savings. The checking is always used for rolling out for bills, so the checking is always emptied. That I didn't give that clarification. The checking
Well,
rolls out, the savings is what builds, and it's 2,000 USD, and that's why it's correlated to the terminology of living month by month.
we call it hand to mouth.
Yes,
People,
that's right.
so
Um,
you're paid and then that's it. By the almost to the end of the month, your
yeah,
money's finished.
yes, and that's why children in Europe and in the UK and children in the US and in Australia, that's why when they go to school, they get usually 2 meals a day. But when they don't go to school, they don't. And us educators have said one of the reasons that elementary school teachers and middle school teachers were pushing for children to go back to school was the unsaid thing because we don't want to embarrass anyone, right? Because they need to eat. So we can't say that. We can't say that on the news. We don't want to do that. That's embarrassing to families. So we have a lot of blind spots. So my thing, Kiki, as you know, always since we were girls, little girls, not women, is be humble. And please, we have so many blind spots. So please be humble and realize there's so much more we don't know about what's going on. So when we tell you that things are dire and serious, don't fluff us away and push us away because we don't want to embarrass people. We don't want to embarrass cohorts or cities or states. We don't want to be sued. Go
So
to the
when you
experts.
say be humble, who do you mean? Are you talking
So, for
about that?
example, colloquially, when we are chatting and we are just socializing, we talk and say anything. We say our opinions. It's fun. We love it. We say things like, they too, why do they have to kids have to go back now? They're not wearing masks. Things like that. We say stuff like that. Be humble and think. Wait a second. I'm sounding negative. There may be another reason. So in this case, the other reason is the teachers want them back so they can feed them breakfast and lunch.
So children
That
need
was
to.
a blind spot.
I also feel that children need to go to school
Yeah.
because some children,
Yes.
not all, but some, are in danger at home if they're
Yes.
home all day. And
Yes.
there's not enough food to go around, especially in homes where there are loads of people.
Yes. So
So,
as a child abuse and neglect specialist for the state of Maryland, I was hired by the governor, and so I try to avoid going into that area because it's dire, it's horrible, it's really horrific. The child abuse and neglect, and it's more so in countries that don't have the protective laws and systems and places to go. And I don't want to name the countries, but we know them. It's worse, and the culture of the countries don't want to talk about it. It's bad throughout the world.
so how do we make this chat a happy chat while we're descending? We try to raise the discussion, but we keep descending into misery.
We know too much. That's how do we raise it? Uh, the hope and the faith in the young people and in our grandchildren, like our grandchild Kiki, Leo. It's lovely. It's lovely to see how fresh they are and um, their
Innocent.
creativity. So
Yeah.
we have so much beauty around us. If only we could talk about it all and keep smiling and acknowledge the good people and support them. The people who are optimists, like Kiki is, like I am, the optimists, and not support them. Um, yeah, we've got that too. In a 1 day period, a 24-hour period, we have ups and downs emotionally, but we have the abstract thought from the brain, the logic from the brain, where we know that the emotion comes and flows. You can laugh 1 hour and the next hour cry because you heard a relative passed away. Then the next hour you can laugh again because a comedian said something on TV. So that it ebbs and flows.
The
And so,
dopamine levels keep coming and
yes,
going.
yeah.
What have we learned though? What have you learned from this whole these ups and downs, this flowing and ebbing? Um,
Oh, I love that
Pick
topic.
one. What
I
have
love
you
that
learned?
topic. I love it. I wished Dedo and Shirley would jump on. I really do. However, I'll continue. So and I think Kiki may have asked me this because she knows me well. I 100%, I'm not a hypocrite, right?
Mm.
And for the last 30 years, because I'm going to be 61 in a few days, for the last 30 years, I truly am the human being who lives day by day. Which me and it's the best way to keep smiling. So I wake up in the morning and I eat my fresh manna and I'm very energetic. I have always a number of eh, jobs, careers. I'm in 3 fields, so I always have every day a number of jobs. I use all my energy. I keep smiling. I know things ebb and flow. I know logic is there, so be wise. And then at nighttime, guess what? 30 years I've been doing this nonstop. Nighttime, I fall asleep 8 hours. So if I'm chatting until 1 a.m., I wake up at 9 a.m., especially in COVID, right? I can chat till 1 a.m., get up at 9 a.m., and I'm fresh again. So when I use up my energy, by the way, I'm an athlete also. I'm a triathlete. So all that happens in my day, and Kiki knows this, she's my prime witness. So that's what I do, and it works. So people always say, "Why are you smiling? Why are you smiling?" Because that's what I do. And then my faith, which I won't talk about here, but my faith. But that's what I do, and I'm not a hypocrite. And Kiki knows that if something terrible has happened during a day, which happens to all of us, you'll still see me smiling. I will be hurting, but I'll smile because there are people around me that I love. I'll go to sleep. The next day is a new day. Kiki, do you have a question about that? Because that's the general. Gets more specific.
What you can get more specific if you like. I like
Okay,
the fact that you wake up and you wake up every time with
every day.
positivity. Every day you wake up and
Yeah.
it's positive and it's exciting.
Oh, I could add this because right now I teach police and I teach law enforcement. And I teach a lot of students. So I teach them this, what I'm going to tell you. Right now, I'm fully present,
You're present,
fully present,
fully
active
present.
listening. Yeah. And I teach them how to do that because most human beings can't do it. You have to learn how to do it. And when you learn how to do it, it takes some years and then you got it. So right now, I'm not thinking of anything, just Kiki. And Kiki knows this. That's why she can call upon me quickly because she knows I can go into that, right? So I'm fully present. I'm fully listening. I'm fully chatting. And then when this stops, I go to the next one and I forget about Kiki. I forget about chatting with her. I
You
do.
don't forget about Kiki.
I
But
know, sweetheart.
but
I know. My sister, I know. But you know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm fully present.
I do. You're full, which is a good
Yeah.
thing. I think most
And that,
people.
so I don't think about 10 minutes ago. My husband, I'll say this. My husband sometimes gets frustrated because he may have a bill and says he's very concerned about it, right? And then I have to put poker face on and not do my usual smile because that'll frustrate the person talking. So I put poker face on to be respectful and I listen. But what my head's thinking is the bill always gets taken care of and it'll
Yeah.
get taken care of. So the 10 minutes is over, it's gone forever. People who know me really well, which I have to tell you publicly, only a few, circle of less than 12 people on earth.
Mm.
Others think they know me, they don't. They just don't. Kiki knows me, Dedo knows me, 2 of the 12. People who really know me know this is true. When 10 minutes is gone, I'm like, what? It's gone. I don't even want to remember it. And I've been doing it for 30 years.
I think it's good. I mean, I think
It
in
works.
life, and I think it helps because we are in a pandemic, and a pandemic is it's no mean feat. It's serious,
Mhm.
actually, and the way that 900 people in a university can
Yeah.
catch the COVID, or is it the Omicron at this time,
Mhm.
and therefore a whole university can shut down
Yeah.
is it's quite, something. It's quite scary.
Yeah.
And so you can't help it, regardless of all the love and the, things that are going on. I mean, I have a lot of love around me.
You
I
do.
have I have good love
You
around
do.
me. And yet, at the back of your mind, you can't help worrying.
Yeah, I don't worry. And lots of people say to me over time, they don't know me. They think they know me, well, they don't. A lot of people say, Dr. B or Brenya, why are you analyzing? You can't forget about Kiki. Dedo, I won't. Dedo, I love you. I won't. Of course not. But they say, why aren't you worry? They've said that since Motown, by the way. And I
Mhm,
laugh, but I have to be respectful and stop my laugh. You know my laugh.
mhm,
Because that upsets the other person. I have to do poker face. And daddy taught me poker face, Brenya. So because I don't worry.
mhm,
There's too much to do during the day in terms of even loving your grandbaby. Even watching TV is added to the too much to do. Okay? Even watching a film, playing a game is
mhm,
added to too much. Even making jollof, the best one by the way, better than Nigeria.
mhm.
It's too
You
much to
said
do.
Ghana Jollof, you may say it well. Ghana
Ghana jollof
Jollof
is the
is
best though.
extra. Jollof is
Nigeria cannot
Nigerian Jollof.
compete.
Yeah,
Nigeria cannot compete. I
they
love
can't.
you,
They don't even know
Nigerians.
what Jollof is.
What's that?
They don't even know what Jollof is.
No, they don't.
They are
No,
not sure.
not at all. So
Yeah.
even making the jollof is busy with the onions and
Yeah.
everything. It's busy. We're busy. And then we go
Do
to
you
sleep.
know we've done a whole hour? The time is
Have
up.
we?
Yeah,
Yay!
we have.
Said, Joe, why didn't you come on? Shirley.
Now she
Shirley,
was fine. Shelley and everybody, they're commenting at the back, but
don't
they're
mind
not
them. It
moving
sets
on.
me up. I was supposed to rush from downstairs with my hats and sunglasses on from outside. Come on and go because Dedo is going to take over Shirley and the rest of you all.
Yeah, well, she was having her corned beef and something. I've
And shit.
outed you. I've outed her. She was busy having her corned beef and didn't care about us.
If I knew Kiki would have me for an hour, I would not have come on. I thought it would be
I
5 minutes.
mean, I didn't have you for an hour. You were just here for a few minutes. But
Okay, thank
please,
you.
talking
That's
about.
good.
But
That's good.
do you realize that we've actually talked for a while, and it's like it's gone boop like this.
Poof.
So gone. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. It was last minute and it was open mic, but I think people are busy doing other things. The thing
Yes.
about these shows is sometimes it's live, but people come back later on to watch it. So that's fine as well. No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So
Mm.
next week, we're going to talk about reflections. Today we've done the open mic. Next week will also be open mic, but it will be reflections. So we're still going to reflect about 2021, and we'll try and be a little bit more upbeat. And we're going to see how we can enter into 2022, regardless of all of things that are going on. Um, how positive we can be. Does that does that sound right?
Beautiful.
I may even come and put my makeup on or something. I'll do. Somebody's Audrey says warm regards to you, Brian. This is Audrey
Yay.
Jack.
Audrey, my house 11 sister.
Yes,
Hi.
your has 11
Thank you.
sisters. And yeah,
Kisses to you.
yes, she's so sweet.
And Dedo's laughing at us.
She's
At
like,
me.
she's
Yeah.
going ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
She needs a smack. I'm inciting violence. Anyway, it's 59. We must go now. And
Okay.
people, listeners, thank you very much. If you listen later, thank you very much for listening. And I want to say, share this video. Let people know that there is Kiki's Chat Show. And Audrey says kisses to you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye, my darling.
Bye bye, sweetheart. Bye. I'm going to leave.
I don't even know how to turn this thing. This whole